What is going on, friends? I'm so pumped because today we are taking the brand new Ford Mustang RTR Spec 2 out for a ride, and I'm finally able to give you guys my driving impressions of the all-new Mustang. Let's get to it. Let's do this, man. I have been waiting for this moment to be able to talk about the new Mustang and the amazing changes that Ford's made to it for a very long time. This has literally been like 2 years in the making. You know, we've been very involved in the development of this car, specifically the electronic drift brake. Myself and Chelsea went and drove these over a year ago to develop it. And I was immediately blown away with what I felt. So I'm gonna start off first with just talking about the production Mustang, and then we'll get into the RTR version. So when driving the new Mustang, the first thing that you notice is the steering feel. The engineers made some big changes to take out some of the numbness that has frankly been in the Mustang since they switched over to electronic steering rack in 2011. With the transition over to the 5-liter, we went to an electric steering rack, and there was always a little bit to be had with respect to steering feel. It was just a little bit numb, a little lack of feeling. And there's a massive reconnection between the steering wheel and the front wheels as it goes to the feeling of it, which is huge for a lot of drivers. So that's one big change. The chassis as a whole, the vehicle dynamics of the base Mustang and especially Performance Pack is like night and day from 550. And so for me, like as a driver, those are the things that I really feel. And then to take it up to the next level, the brakes. This is a Performance Pack donor before we converted it to RTR Spec 2. And the 6-piston front, 4-piston rear Brembos are just, like just freaking serious weapons. The pads are not super loud. When they have a little heat on them, you know, they can tend to squeak, but that's, you know, you want performance, you can't compromise everything. So, and then beyond that, you know, obviously more horsepower is more horsepower, right? We don't really need to talk about that. It feels really good, you know, having a little more juice under your right foot. But for me, it's like the chassis, like it's just so connected, so solid, and they've done an amazing job. Another thing I've noticed as a driver is the visibility, specifically the hood. It is factually a bit lower. I mean, we're talking millimeters, but over the entire sweep of the hood, you feel like you have much better visibility in the car from the cockpit. It's not drastic, but it's one of the first things I noticed is that, you know, I could see more of the front of the car, but it's not, you know, it's not drastic. It's just a very perfect welcome. I feel like they lowered everything just a little bit on the outside of the car compared to S550. And the other cool thing is, like, we've got a pretty massive heat extractor on here for the aggressive looks from the exterior, but you can't see it from the driver's position. Like, you have to go up to see that hood scoop, so it's not in the way at all, which allowed us to be able to get aggressive and manage that style and function of the heat extraction that we wanted to the best of, you know, our ability. The other thing with the new Mustang is obviously this digital dash. It's a massive display. It's powered by the Unreal video game engine, so the graphics are just beautiful, the animations are beautiful, and everything is within touch, literally, of a touchscreen. So a really cool feature that I am extremely pumped about. I know that, you know, in the Mustang community, change does not come with a little bit of, or without a little bit of hemming and hawing, but sit in this car, drive it, touch the buttons. I mean, I'm driving with a Fox body digital dash right now, and so I can only hope and dream that there'll be, you know, the ability to get different dashes into the future. I would love for us to be able to develop some RTR dashes, but it's just cool, and everything was in a touch. I mean, I hit the pony button, I go to the track apps, and then I'm able to turn the drift brake on, I'm able to choose line lock, I'm able to set launch control, and I'm able to rev match. Like, watch this, I'm gonna go to fourth gear right now, okay, and now I'm gonna go to second. Automatic rev match to where it needs to be. Right now it's 6,000 RPMs. I probably shouldn't have went fourth to second, but it rev matched perfect for me. So now I'm going to jump into fifth, and I'll go to third. Here, blip, second. Gives you a blip, and it's just right where it needs to be always. So I love that feature, and of course I can rev match myself, but like, I love technology. So for people that don't know how to rev match, you just hit a button and turn it on. And for me, when I'm feeling lazy, I just do it, and that's, I love that. Like, I love that about the new Mustang. It's so focused on accessibility for newbies all the way to professional drivers, whether it's choosing the different modes, using the tools that are provided, by you in your track apps to have fun and get the most out of yourself and the car while learning. Like, it's so freaking cool. The drift brake, talk about that a bit. So myself and Chelsea were called in by Ford to help develop this. I did some ergonomic work with it years ago, tried a couple different placements and things. I'm happy with where they ended up with it, and very comfortable ergonomically and feels really good. And it works seriously better than the hydraulic handbrakes in my FD car. And so basically it's a progressive electronic brake. So when you have the drift brake enabled, it becomes very progressive. It goes from 0 to 100%, and all through there commands different brake pressures. So 100% would be max brake pressure, but at 20% it's less. And we did that because if you wanted to go have some fun in the rain, you don't need 100% brake pressure, because it would just force you into a spin. So you can progressively pull it for however much brake assist that you need in that moment, which is super cool. And then when the drift brake feature is off, you pull the handbrake up once, it turns the park brake on, you push the handbrake down, it turns the park brake off. So very intuitive, very easy to use, and really proud to have been a part of that feature, because let's face it, it's damn cool that Ford put electronic drift brake in the Mustang. Mustangs are so good at drifting. They have such a good balance, and the changes with the chassis and the steering and the addition of the drift brake now, it's so good. It has fully transformed this car from previous gen, and I'm just so damn happy about it. Now move on to talk about RTR driving experience. And so I say this all the time, right? Like, Ford has to build cars for a very large group of people, and at RTR we're available to all and not for everyone. And so we have a approach to chassis and suspension that I think is very different. And with RTR stands for ready to rock. For me, it's a mindset, it's a lifestyle of being ready for anything at any time. Yeah, I'm ready to rock, let's go, let's do this. And so that mindset and that DNA is in our vehicles, especially the Mustang, which has fully adjustable suspension. So I'm driving the Spec 2. The first thing that you notice with the Spec 2 from the outside is the modern aggressive styling. Like, my opinion, we've taken great styling of the S650 and enhanced it and made it something that is just like a neck breaker. The other thing that does that is the stance, and the stance is enabled not only by our wheel and tire size and offset, but our tactical performance suspension system, which is adjustable dampers, adjustable sway bars, and our lowering springs. We've maxed the car out on all fronts. We've maxed the stance out, we've maxed the offset off of the wheels, and we've maxed how much we feel that you can lower the car without diminishing returns, with staying within spec of the alignment so your tires, still last, being able to go get it serviced at any dealership with factory specs. But also, with that lowered ride height, We've got great vehicle dynamics, because everyone knows or should know that a lower CG equals better handling, as long as you're within spec and within the angles that the suspension is designed to be within, which is where we max out. We get to a nice comfy place, get our appearance goals and our performance goals go hand in hand. So with the Spec 2 adjustable suspension, when you pick this Spec 2 up from the dealer, it will have the balance in the car that is extremely neutral, but at the extreme limit has a little bit of understeer, and that is for safety reasons. You know, Ford ships most all cars out with a little bit of understeer, because most drivers would prefer the car to go into understeer and plow straight than go into oversteer and rotate. So we dial it back a little more neutral, but still at the limit and have understeer. Then the owner gets to do the fine tuning. You can adjust your dampers, you can adjust the sway bar for whatever it is that you want to do, drag racing, drifting, road racing, and just cruising the streets, and with maybe a little more neutral balance. If you go to put stickier tires on the car for road racing, the adjustability is in the car to compensate, to allow you to help the car to rotate even while having stickier tires around corners and things like that. So we really think about this stuff. I gotta brag a little bit. Like, you know, we go from, you know, what's in my brain to our engineer's brain. We get it to a box, and then we bring in experienced sign-off engineers. And in this case, for this new Mustang, we brought in Billy Johnson, a very decorated road racer. He's been on a lot of the Ford Mustang race programs, the Ford GT race programs. He's just a badass. And when it comes to well-rounded, signing off for noise, vibration, sound, all that stuff, he's the guy we call in to do it. Because frankly, I overlook some things because I just care about what I want. And, you know, I come from, you know, building cars on my back in my garage. So if it's a little loud or a little bouncy, I just dealt with it. So we want a more refined car, and that's what we've achieved with our tactical performance suspension system. The adjustability in this is so amazing. And so right now, we've been driving this car on how it will come from the dealer. It rides so nice, but the performance is there. I mean, the responsiveness is like, it's just so much. It's so sharp and so there that we've been able to marry our suspension parts with what Ford has done with the new chassis, and just, it's beautiful. I can't brag enough on it. And it just rides so nice. So if you're just cruising with your better half, it's not bumpy, and you know, it's not something that people aren't going to want to ride with you because it just is obnoxious. Like, it's extremely well refined, and then when you start pushing it, it's there for you. It's a very progressive, very linear suspension, and it'll make you feel like a way better driver than you are. Let's just call it how it is. So always be smart and drive within your means, but know that that we got you, and we have spent a lot of time refining this suspension, and coupled with Ford's modes and the way that the traction and stability control opens up with the different modes, it just really comes alive. So that's the biggest thing for me, that I'm so excited for people to feel and drive Spec 2, because everyone that gets in it is like, wow, I can't believe it's this low and it rides this great. Holy crap, I feel so connected to the road. Like, these are the things that we get, and it's you know, it's so damn cool. And you know, from you know, going back to technology, right, over the year updates, you know, Ford will be continually to enhance the vehicle experience as the vehicles hit the road, and there's ultimately going to be some changes that get made, as there always is. You know, rather than needing to go to the dealer for an update, they can just do it over the air. So, you know, wrapping it up, you know, for me, I can't believe I'm saying it, but this is hands down the absolute best Mustang that I've ever experienced off the showroom from Ford in its base configuration. Hats off to Ford engineers, because I said it with S550. I don't see any possible way that you know, it's a tough act to follow. And the new S650, his new 7th gen Mustang, is so good. Of course, I'm a bit biased with what we've done with it at the RTR lab, building out our various packages. Again, this is the Spec 2. This is our middle of the road, very enhanced suspension focus and appearance focus. You know, very soon we'll be announcing our various Spec Mustangs that will be available at market, as well as our launch edition. So we're gonna have 25 launch edition Mustangs. I'll have some special features. Then we have our Spec 1, Spec 2, and then soon to be announced, you can guess, if you look at our previous patterns, what we'll be announcing in the future. So I'm just super pumped, very grateful to have the opportunity to work with Ford on this vehicle for its base customers that will hopefully be investing in, you know, some of our products. Nonetheless, Ford's done an amazing job and given us the best platform yet to come in and work our magic. Thank you very much, friends. Appreciate all the love and support for RTR over the years. We've been working really hard. I can give you one promise that we'll continue pouring everything we've got, all of our passion, all of our experience to bring you guys badass vehicles and badass products. So much love. We'll see you guys soon. I cannot wait to see S650s hitting the road. Have fun, friends. Whoa!